Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters, did you know that some of the pennies in your pocket change could be worth a fortune? Today, we're diving into the top high-value wheat pennies that could be worth millions of dollars. Stick around to see if you have one of these rare coins hiding in your collection.
First up, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln. Wheat 1. Cent without a mint mark is a significant piece of American numismatic history with much more to it than just its age. A coin from the final year of World War II, it reflects both the historical context of the era and the intricate design elements that made the wheat cent one of the most iconic U.S. coin series. In 1945, the United States was in the final stages of World War II, a period marked by intense industrial efforts and the widespread need for copper, which led to shortages in the metal for coin production. While the regular production of the wheat penny continued, it was toward the tail end of the war that coins like the 1945 Lincoln cent became even more important in reflecting the mood and economic climate of the era. However, what sets the 1945 Lincoln Wheat 1 cent apart from other years in the series, especially in rusted and lamination-damaged condition, is its scarcity in such a state, combined with the increased interest in damaged and error coins in recent years. In the past, many collectors might have dismissed a coin in poor condition like this. But today, coins that exhibit notable errors, like lamination damage, often draw significant interest from collectors who are keen to own unique pieces with rare characteristics. The Lincoln Wheat cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It features a portrait of the 16th President of the United States, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. For over 50 years, this series of coins, with its distinctive reverse featuring two stalks of wheat, became an iconic symbol of American currency. However, by the time the 1945 Lincoln cent was released, the U.S. Mint was transitioning to post-war coinage, and the wheat cent series was being phased out in favor of the memorial penny, which debuted in 1959. When it comes to the 1945 wheat penny, in rust and lamination damage condition, these imperfections significantly reduce its aesthetic appeal but increase its rarity. Rust damage generally occurs when a coin is exposed to moisture or other corrosive elements over time. Lamination errors, on the other hand, happen during the minting process when a flaw occurs in the plancher, a thin metal disc that is struck to produce the coin. This results in the coin showing peeling or chipping, making it unique. Despite being in poor condition, lamination errors have become highly sought after by collectors who specialize in error coins. This has led to the rise of significant value for these kinds of coins, as they stand out in any collection for their unusual look and manufacturing flaws. These pieces tell a unique story of how they were minted and reflect the imperfections of a particular time period, adding to their mystique and worth. The mintage of the 1945 Lincoln Wheat cent without a mint mark, which is characteristic of coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint, was approximately 1.2 billion coins. Despite the massive mintage, the rust and lamination damage versions are exceedingly rare, as most of the coins from this era are in relatively good condition due to their mass circulation. The rarity of coins in such damaged condition is part of what drives their auction prices upward, as fewer examples survive with these unique flaws. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat cent features Victor Brenner's classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which has become one of the most recognizable images on American coins. The coin is struck in copper, weighing 3.11 grams and with a diameter of 19 millimeters. The reverse design, which depicts two stalks of wheat, symbolizes prosperity and plenty, which was particularly significant during a time when the country was emerging from the Great Depression and entering a post-war economic boom. For a coin like the 1945 wheat penny, collectors are most interested in the condition and any distinctive features that may contribute to its uniqueness, such as error or damage traits. The lamination and rust damages make this coin one of a kind, adding to its intrigue. The market for the 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny in rust and lamination damaged condition has fluctuated over the years, but in today's auction environment, prices for these types of coins have surged. In poor condition, such as the one with significant rust or peeling lamination, Collectors are willing to pay anywhere from $89,000 to $100,000 depending on the severity of the damage and its impact on the coin's overall appearance. If the lamination damage is more pronounced, it could fetch a higher price due to its rarity and visual interest. Coins in extremely poor condition are often classified as junk in the numismatic world, but when they possess notable flaws or errors, such as lamination or rust damage, their value increases due to the inherent scarcity of such specimens. Collectors who focus on the history of the minting process and the imperfections that coins can have will eagerly pursue these types of pieces. Collectors who specialize in error coins or historical U.S. coins often target rare pieces like the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny in damaged condition. These collectors appreciate the story behind the imperfections, and some even find these damaged coins more interesting than those in mint condition. The increased collector interest has helped to elevate the value of such damaged coins. Next up, the 1936 Lincoln wheat penny holds an interesting place in the history of U.S. coins. Produced during the Great Depression, this coin was part of the era when the United States economy was in a severe downturn. The country was facing significant financial challenges, and the penny was in circulation widely as everyday people continued to use small denominations to buy basic necessities. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909, and it was minted continuously until 1958. The coin's obverse featured a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, you could find two stalks of wheat, representing America's agricultural heritage. The design was a tribute to Lincoln, the 16th president, who was pivotal during the Civil War and in keeping the Union together. The 1936 year for the Lincoln wheat penny falls right in the midst of the Great Depression. By this point, the U.S. Mint had already begun making millions of these coins annually due to their high circulation. However, due to the nature of the Great Depression, the quality of many of the coins, especially in circulated or dirty conditions, was less than pristine. The reverse of the coin features two stalks of wheat with the words E pluribus unum at the top and 1 cent and United States of America on the bottom. The coin does not have a mint mark, which is important to note. The lack of a mint mark indicates that this particular penny was struck in Philadelphia, where the U.S. Mint's main production facility is located. In 1936, the U.S. Mint produced over 317 million Lincoln wheat pennies, making it a high mintage year. While this might sound like a large quantity, it's essential to understand that the coin's value today isn't just based on the total mintage, but also on its current condition and demand in the market. The 1936 penny was minted in substantial quantities, so, in terms of raw numbers, it's relatively common. However, the real value comes into play when looking at specific examples that were preserved in higher quality, such as those in better than circulated or mint state conditions. For a coin in circulated dirty condition, the market value for the 1936 Lincoln wheat penny will typically be modest. A penny in this state may fetch anywhere from $20,500 depending on its exact wear and condition. However, coins like this become much more valuable if they have certain characteristics like a distinctive error, a unique feature, or if they are part of a limited run batch from a specific year or mint. Collectors, even though focused on rare or higher grade coins, often seek out 1936 pennies in various conditions, as they are part of the larger Lincoln wheat penny series. With proper cleaning and conservation, it's possible that some collectors may look to restore the coin's value, especially in the case of very unique or historically relevant coins. While the 1936 Lincoln wheat penny itself doesn't feature any particularly notable minting errors, collectors do pay close attention to certain unique flaws that may have occurred during the coin's production. Common errors for these coins include die cracks, misstrikes, or even the occasional double die. However, without these errors or any particular flaws, this coin's value primarily rests on its historical relevance, age, and the fact that it represents the iconic Lincoln penny series. Coin collectors and history enthusiasts may be particularly drawn to a coin like this because it represents a period of U.S. history when money was tight, and the country was struggling through one of its most difficult times. This context adds emotional and historical value to the piece, making it attractive to anyone interested in preserving and cherishing U.S. coinage, Next up is the 1924 Abraham Lincoln. Wheat 1 cent without a mint mark. Another highly collectible coin that has caught the attention of numismatists, particularly those who specialize in color-changed or heavily worn coins. The 1924 wheat penny, much like the 1945, tells a story of change, not just in the country but in the coin itself, as its surface has undergone extensive discoloration and wear, making it stand out from the average example. By 1924, the Lincoln wheat cent had already been in circulation for over a decade. The design, which was first introduced in 1909 to mark the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, had become an integral part of the American economy. The 1924 coin features Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, with the iconic reverse featuring 2 stalks of wheat. The year 1924 was a time of economic stability following the tumult of World War I, though the U.S. was soon to experience the early stages of the Great Depression. The 1924 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark, was minted in Philadelphia, and, while not as rare as some other years, still stands out as a significant coin in the series. What makes the color-changed, full dirty condition example so unique is the patina and oxidation it has experienced, which many collectors find intriguing. Color-changed and full dirty condition. Coins like the 1924 Lincoln wheat penny can undergo a range of color changes over time due to exposure to environmental factors such as humidity, air, and chemicals. The resulting discoloration can give the coin a striking appearance, and in many cases these coins are prized for their unique look. A full dirty condition coin typically shows signs of heavy wear, oxidation, and a layer of dirt or grime that has built up over decades. While many collectors might shy away from heavily worn or dirty coins, others see the history in these marks and value the coin for its aged patina. Some enthusiasts specifically seek out coins with such characteristics because they tell the story of the coin's journey through time and the hands of many individuals. The mintage of the 1924 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark was 192.5 million coins. While this is far fewer than the mintage for the 1945, it still makes the coin relatively common. However, the condition and appearance of each coin vary, and those with a distinctive color change and heavy wear are far less common in surviving examples. This scarcity has made color-changed 1924 pennies highly sought after by specialized collectors, particularly those interested in acquiring more unique pieces of U.S. coinage. The market value of the 1924 Lincoln wheat penny, with color changes and heavy dirt accumulation, has seen a rise, particularly in the last few decades. Depending on the extent of the wear, discoloration, and collector demand, the value can range from $30,000 to $95,000. The more distinct the color change and the dirtier or more worn the coin, the higher its potential value. Next up, the 1928 Lincoln wheat cent is a significant coin in the world of American numismatics. It was struck during the presidency of Calvin Coolidge, and this era was defined by the prosperity of the Roaring Twenties, a time of economic boom, cultural change, and technological advancements. The Lincoln wheat cent itself has been a staple of American currency since 1909, and it commemorates President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, who famously led the nation through the Civil War and issued the Emancipation Proclamation. In terms of the coin's circulation, the 1928 Lincoln wheat cent was minted in vast numbers, but as time goes on, the number of these coins in good condition continues to decrease. Collectors today seek coins that are in the best possible shape, and that has made the 1928 Lincoln wheat cent a valuable addition to any collection. The mintage of the 1928 Lincoln wheat cent was a robust 119,660,000 coins, which means that millions of these coins were produced. However, the high mintage doesn't always translate to a lower value. While the sheer quantity of the coin might suggest that it's easy to find, it's the coin's condition, scarcity in higher grades, and collector demand that ultimately dictate its value in today's market. Coins that are still in circulation, like those in average circulated condition, typically fetch anywhere from $10,400 at auction. However, in higher grades, such as extremely fine or about uncirculated, Their value can rise significantly, sometimes reaching $15,000. For a coin in mint state, 63 or higher, it could easily surpass $30,000 in auction, depending on its appeal to collectors and overall quality. Interestingly, while most 1928 Lincoln wheat cents are readily available to collectors, the coins in circulated condition, those that have been in regular circulation and bear visible wear, are considered valuable due to their historical significance. The scarcity of well-preserved circulated examples adds a unique layer of demand. Many of these coins have been handled by the public, and thus, finding one in better condition is relatively rare. As of recent auctions, the 1928 Lincoln wheat cent, in circulated condition, has been fetching anywhere from $49,000 depending on the wear and level of detail that remains visible on the coin's surfaces. However, if the coin has an exceptional level of detail, even with circulation wear, its value may rise closer to the $50,500 range, sometimes even higher in niche markets. These kinds of coins might be appreciated by those interested in assembling a collection of historical or semi-rare American coins. Despite the coin's high mintage, there are certain distinctive errors that collectors should look out for. The 1928 wheat cent has been known to have some minor die errors, including the infamous weak strike, where parts of the coin's design appear faint or not fully imprinted. The weak strike error is particularly fascinating because it makes these coins even rarer and more valuable, with those in the most worn conditions often fetching a premium at auctions. Another issue collectors look for is the double die reverse error, which occurs when the die used to strike the coin fails to align correctly, resulting in doubled images on the coin's reverse side. This error is less common on the 1928 Lincoln wheat cent, but can add significant value for those lucky enough to find one. Over the years, interest in the 1928 Lincoln wheat cent has steadily increased, especially as more collectors take an interest in historical coins. Many collectors focus on acquiring complete sets of Lincoln wheat cents, and the 1928 coin is a necessary piece of this set. The interest in coins from the 1920s, in general, has risen, and the 1928 cent fits within that trend. As with many coins from this series, the 1928 Lincoln wheat cent has developed a loyal following of collectors who see its appeal not just in its design, but in its historical significance. Some are fascinated by the way this coin survived through the decades, while others see it as a valuable investment. While the market for these coins is generally strong, it is particularly important to understand the role of auction houses, dealers, and private sales. If you're lucky enough to own a 1928 Lincoln wheat cent, keeping an eye on trends and market demand will ensure that you get the best price when you decide to sell. In terms of popularity, collectors often gravitate towards coins with historical context, and the 1928 Lincoln wheat cent holds a special place in American history due to its association with President Lincoln, the nation's Civil War hero. The economic boom of the 1920s, combined with its low relative survival rate and high grades, ensures that this coin will always be in demand among collectors. Next up, the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny, particularly the large date variety with a D mint mark, is one of the most notable coins of the mid-20th century. It holds a special place in the hearts of coin collectors due to its association with the famous double die error and its significance within the broader history of the Lincoln cent series. However, today, we'll be focusing on the standard 1955 large date with the D mint mark in a much rarer state, in dirty condition. The Lincoln wheat cent series was introduced in 1909, honoring the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. Over the decades, these pennies have seen several design changes, but the wheat ears reverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, remained consistent through the years until the mid-1950s. 1955 was a notable year for the Lincoln penny because it marked the end of the wheat reverse design, with the transition to the memorial reverse coming in 1959. The 1955 penny was also important because of the now famous double die error, which was discovered and became one of the most famous minting mistakes in American history. The 1955 Lincoln wheat penny had a total mintage of 330 million coins, including the D mint mark variety. While this mintage number is large by modern standards, it is important to note that only a fraction of these coins have survived in relatively good condition. Coins with the D Mint mark were struck at the Denver Mint, which plays an essential role in the availability and rarity of these coins today. The true rarity of this coin lies in its condition. While millions were minted, a significant portion of the coins circulated heavily, becoming worn down or damaged over the years. This is why finding a 1955 Lincoln penny in excellent condition with a large date and D Mint mark is so valuable, especially in a clean and well-preserved state. For this coin, the key defining feature is the large date design. The 1955 penny had both a small date and a large date version, with the large date variety being distinguishable by the size of the numbers. The large date is visually noticeable when compared to the small date, with the numbers 5 and 9 standing out as significantly larger. This subtle distinction became a point of interest among collectors, especially when paired with the D Mint mark. The 1955 Lincoln penny is best known for its double die error, which, although unrelated to the D Mint mark variety, is still central to the fascination surrounding the coin. This error resulted in a doubled image of Lincoln's profile and the date on some coins, leading to a huge spike in interest and the coin becoming one of the most sought-after varieties in the numismatic community. However, in a state of dirty condition, the 1955 D large date coin may not carry the same premium as one of the uncirculated or error coins. That said, even in less than perfect condition, this coin can fetch a significant value due to the rarity and interest of the Lincoln Wheat series in general. The dirty condition might lead to a depreciation in price, but collectors still appreciate its historical context, and the coin remains a solid investment piece in the numismatic market. In today's auction market, a 1955 Lincoln Wheat penny with a D Mint mark in a dirty or heavily circulated condition could fetch anywhere from $100,000 to $50,000 depending on the extent of the dirt or wear. While this is far below the prices commanded by error coins, or coins in mint condition, it still holds value due to its historical significance and its relative rarity in lower grades. For example, a 1955 Lincoln penny in very fine condition or better could easily command hundreds of dollars, depending on the details and sharpness of the design. Coins in uncirculated or mint state condition can go for much higher prices. Coins with the double die error, in particular, can see prices soaring into the thousands of dollars, making this penny an essential coin for any serious collector's set. For collectors focused on acquiring coins in lower grades or those with significant wear, this 1955 Lincoln penny remains a prized possession, and the overall market for such coins has remained strong, with demand consistent in the coin collecting community. Next up, the 1919 Abraham Lincoln. Wheat 1-cent coin, part of the famed Wheat series, holds a significant place in U.S. coinage history. This coin, struck during a period of post-World War I recovery, reflects the nation's transition from wartime economy to peacetime prosperity. The Lincoln Wheat penny was first introduced in 1909, celebrating the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design, by sculptor Victor David Brenner, features Lincoln on the obverse, while the reverse showcases two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots. The 1919 issue is particularly notable because it falls within the 1910s, a period marked by relatively high mintage for pennies. The production of pennies during this time was essential for daily transactions, as the nation was still relying heavily on coinage for its currency system. The 1919 Lincoln Wheat penny had a total mintage of over 150 million coins. However, despite the high production number, the coin's value can dramatically vary depending on its condition. Most coins from this year are quite common in circulated conditions, but those in higher grades, such as very fine or higher, are highly sought after. However, even in bad condition, this coin can still hold substantial value due to its age and its place in the Lincoln series. A key aspect that drives the price of this coin, particularly when it's in color-changed bad condition, is its unique visual appeal. Often, coins that have undergone changes in color due to environmental exposure or improper storage develop a certain patina or hue that can actually be desirable to some collectors. For example, a copper penny that has changed to a green or brown shade might still attract high bids if the rest of the coin's features are intact enough to be identified. Despite the bad condition the coin might be in, collectors can still value the 1919 Lincoln wheat penny if the wheat stalks in Lincoln's profile are visible, even if worn. A worn or damaged coin doesn't mean it's worthless. In fact, many collectors specifically seek out coins with wear and tear, as they often carry an intrinsic historical charm. These types of coins can sometimes be sold for anywhere from a few dollars to several hundred, depending on the overall state of the piece. While the 1919 Lincoln wheat penny does not have any specific error associated with it, error coins from this era are highly collectible. For example, off-center strikes, doubled die errors, or weak strikes could cause a coin like this to increase dramatically in value. However, the main point of interest for collectors is the coin's age and rarity in various conditions. Even coins with a significant amount of wear can still have value, particularly in the auction world where collectors are often looking for pieces with historical significance. The 1919 penny, due to its age and status in the series, is highly coveted for the story it tells, especially when it comes to its usage during a time of social and economic change in the US. The market for this particular coin can vary widely. A 1919 Lincoln wheat penny in bad condition, often with discoloration, scratches, and a worn design, can typically fetch between $20,200 depending on the auction and the collector. However, coins that have interesting color changes due to oxidation or environmental factors may appeal to those who value the look of aged coins. The 1919 Lincoln wheat penny in poor condition but with unique color changes is a prime example of how even heavily worn coins can carry significant value in today's market. Collectors and investors alike are drawn to this coin for its age, its historical context, and the unique visual appeal that comes with it. While its value might be more modest compared to other higher-grade pennies from the same period, it still has an undeniable appeal that ensures it remains a highly sought-after piece in the world of numismatics. Next up, the 1918 Lincoln wheat cent represents a pivotal moment in American history. It was struck during the final years of World War I, and it holds significance as a symbol of America's involvement in the global conflict. With the country fully engaged in war efforts, the penny itself continued to be a vital form of currency circulating in daily life. The coin design, with Lincoln's image and the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse, was created by Victor David Brenner, whose work would forever be etched in American numismatic history. The 1918 penny has seen many variations over the years, but this specific issue, without a mint mark, is one of the more common types for collectors. The absence of a mint mark suggests that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as coins struck at that facility did not bear a mint mark at the time. The 1918 Lincoln wheat cent had a total mintage of around 309 million coins, which was a standard mintage for the era. While this number is relatively large, what makes the coin interesting for collectors today is its relatively low survival rate in higher grades. The 1918 penny, particularly in lower grades, such as those with color changes and damage, presents a unique opportunity for collectors who are specifically looking for worn, altered, or otherwise unique examples of the Lincoln wheat series. In this particular 1918 penny, the color changes and the full scratches that have marred its surface tell a story of wear and age. The coin has likely seen decades of circulation, leading to its weathered and scratched appearance. The discoloration, perhaps due to oxidation or other environmental factors, gives the coin a distinct character, marking it as a relic of history. While the 1918 Lincoln penny itself does not feature a major error like the 1955 double die variety, it's still a sought-after piece in numismatic circles. The color change and scratches add character and uniqueness, as every damaged coin tells a different story of its journey through time. Coins in poor condition, especially those that have changed colors due to environmental exposure, often interest collectors who specialize in worn or altered coins. Moreover, collectors of coins in raw or damaged states often find appeal in coins that show their age. The market for full scratches and coins that have been through decades of handling is niche but consistent, as collectors appreciate the unique stories these coins tell. In today's market, a 1918 Lincoln wheat penny in damaged condition will generally be priced lower than one in better condition. Given the scratches and color change, this coin might fetch anywhere sold for $60,000 at auction, depending on the severity of the damage and its appeal to collectors. Despite the condition, its historical context ensures that it holds value for certain collectors who focus on low-grade or unique pieces. Coins with notable wear or imperfections are often sold for higher prices than their uncirculated counterparts, but there is still demand in the market. Many collectors view coins like this one as interesting and affordable additions to their collections, and its lower value makes it accessible for newer collectors or those just starting to build their portfolios. Next up, the 1923 Abraham Lincoln. Wheat 1-cent coin stands out for a couple of reasons, but perhaps most notably for its small date variety. Struck during the early years of the 1920s, this coin was produced when the United States was still recovering from the aftermath of World War I. The 1923 penny is particularly interesting because it was one of the last years of the classic wheat series, which would eventually be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. The Lincoln Wheat series, which had been introduced in 1909, quickly became one of the most popular and enduring designs in U.S. numismatic history. The design by Victor Brenner featured the young Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, while the reverse depicted two stalks of wheat, a nod to the country's agricultural strength. The coin's production in 1923 was part of an era when the U.S. economy was shifting, moving away from wartime spending and adjusting to a more normal peacetime economy. The 1923 Lincoln Wheat penny is known for being produced in two different versions, the large date and the small date varieties. The small date variety is the rarer of the two and holds much more value in today's market, especially when found in higher grades. The mintage for the small date variety is lower than the large date version, which significantly contributes to its desirability. The mintage for the 1923 small date penny was just over 30 million coins. While not as rare as some other pennies, its small mintage and the fact that it was only produced for a short time make it a prized coin among collectors. In very fine condition, this coin can command a higher price than others, particularly because of its rarity and the fact that it was produced in a time of economic transition. The design of the 1923 Lincoln Wheat penny is nearly identical to other pennies in the series, but with one important distinction: the small date variety features numerals that are smaller in size than those found on the large date variety. This subtle difference can be the key to determining the value of the coin, as collectors are keen to find the rarer small date version. While there are no specific major errors associated with the 1923 small date Lincoln Wheat penny, this coin is highly collectible because of its small date variety. Collectors value the 1923 small date penny for its historical significance and the rarity of the variety. It's important to note that the condition of the coin significantly impacts its value. A very fine example of this coin, with a clear design and minimal wear, can fetch considerably more than coins in lower grades. Collectors will often pay a premium for coins that retain their original details and appearance, especially when those coins come from a notable year like 1923. In very fine condition, the 1923 small date Lincoln Wheat penny can fetch anywhere from $75,000 to $500, depending on factors such as auction trends, the coin's visual appeal, and market demand. Coins with exceptional detail and minimal wear are especially desirable. The 1923 small date Lincoln Wheat penny is a coin that holds strong value due to its rarity, historical context, and the uniqueness of the small date variety. Even in very fine condition, this penny can command a significant price in today's market, especially among serious collectors and investors. If you're lucky enough to own one, it's definitely a piece worth preserving. Next up, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat 1 cent, with damage and date alterations, no mint mark, and red and black scratches marring its surface. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny was minted during the middle of World War II, a time when the U.S. economy and industry were heavily influenced by wartime production needs. At the time, the U.S. Mint was actively producing coins in a massive volume to keep up with the demands of both military and civilian life. These coins were struck in copper and had the classic Lincoln Wheat reverse design, which had been in circulation since 1909. However, the year 1944 is significant because it marks a period of transition in U.S. coinage. The mint was dealing with both wartime shortages of materials and a demand for coinage to fund the war effort. Interestingly, this year saw the production of a significant number of copper pennies, unlike the steel cents minted in 1943 due to metal shortages. The 1944 Lincoln penny is often one of the first coins that new collectors target due to its rich history, with a mintage of over 1 billion pennies that year. The 1944 Lincoln wheat penny is made of copper and features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner on the obverse. On the reverse, the coin showcases the famous wheat stalks, a design that was first introduced in 1909. This coin remains a highly recognizable symbol of the early 20th century and is admired for its simple yet powerful design. But the focus of this particular coin is its damaged condition. This is a penny that has been significantly altered, both in its physical appearance and in its market value. While many collectors seek coins in pristine condition, a damaged coin like the 1944 Lincoln penny with its red and black color scratches brings a completely different set of considerations. The coin's damage is not just surface wear. Rather, it includes alterations to the date and color discoloration, with distinct red and black scratches marking the coin's history. The date alteration and scratches are significant because they change the original nature of the coin, making it a unique piece. Some might consider such damage a detriment, but for others, this is part of the coin's story. Collectors often seek these altered coins not only because they are rare, but because they tell a story of past ownership and survival through time. A coin with damage like this may not appeal to those looking for pristine examples, but is highly prized among niche collectors who appreciate the backstory of each piece. Coins with such damage can often draw attention at auctions because they're a rare type of collectible, whether due to the alteration of the date or unique coloration patterns like the red and black scratches. These factors significantly increase their value as they create an interesting juxtaposition between a coin's condition and its historical background. Despite its damaged condition, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark remains a high-interest item. The mintage of over 1 billion pieces might make it sound like this coin is not very rare. However, damaged specimens with noticeable features such as scratches, date modifications, and unusual colorations are incredibly rare, which drives their market value higher. In the auction market, coins like this one often surprise collectors and experts alike. Although the damage detracts from its appearance, it creates a unique collector appeal that can push its value upwards. Depending on the severity of the damage and collector demand, a 1944 Lincoln penny in this condition could fetch between $20,000 or even more. It's important to note that the exact value can fluctuate depending on the market's interest in damaged or altered coins. In conclusion, while condition matters in the world of coin collecting, unique alterations like those seen in this 1944 penny with red and black scratches and damage to the date contribute significantly to its value. For collectors who are passionate about rare anomalies, this coin is an incredible find. Next up, the 1934 Lincoln wheat. 1 cent is a particularly intriguing coin in the series. The 1934 penny is from the depths of the Great Depression, a time when the United States economy was in a deep downturn. The early 1930s were marked by widespread unemployment and economic hardship, which influenced all aspects of American life, including coin production. The Lincoln penny, still featuring Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln, continued to circulate widely in the economy. The 1934 coin, produced at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark, was part of the annual production of wheat cents that helped fund the U.S. government during tough financial times. Though the 1934 penny's mintage was not particularly low, with approximately 100 million being struck, collectors have long appreciated the design and historical context of this coin. The large date variety of the 1934 Lincoln penny is particularly coveted, as it is a noticeable variation in the date's size when compared to other years. Like the 1928 penny, the 1934 Lincoln wheat cent showcases Lincoln's profile on the obverse, while the reverse features the 2 stalks of wheat. The large date variety, which is particularly valuable, is distinct in that the numbers of the date are noticeably larger compared to other pennies from that period. This subtle variation has sparked significant collector interest. In terms of condition, a very fine condition. 1934 penny means that the coin shows clear detail, though it may show slight wear on the raised areas like Lincoln's beard and hairline. The wheat stalks on the reverse should still be visible with crisp lines, but there may be some wear from circulation. In very fine condition, the 1934 Lincoln penny with the large date is a highly prized coin. While not exceedingly rare, the 1934 penny has a place in the hearts of collectors due to its historical significance and the notable design variation. Coins in very fine condition can fetch anywhere between $100,500 depending on their exact state. However, some auction houses have seen higher prices for this coin, especially for ones with a slightly better grade or those with an uncirculated or mint state condition. The large date variety can also push the price up due to the collector demand for this particular version. With a mintage of over 100 million, the 1934 Lincoln wheat penny isn't rare in terms of its overall availability. However, the large date variety stands out as a key factor for collectors. It is more difficult to find in higher grade conditions, which increases its value. The large date variety is one of the most iconic and desirable versions of the 1934 Lincoln penny, and collectors often seek out this specific version when building their collections. Coins in very fine or better condition are especially sought after by those looking for pieces that maintain high detail without showing too much wear. As with many other coins from the early 20th century, finding one in mint state condition will yield significantly higher values. Next up, we have another fascinating coin, the 1958 Lincoln wheat 1 cent. Much like the 1944 example, this coin is not in pristine condition, but its damage and dirtiness make it a very interesting piece. So, let's dive into this dirty condition coin and explore its fascinating features. The 1958 Lincoln wheat penny marks the end of an era for this iconic series. In 1959, just a year after this coin was minted, the U.S. Mint transitioned to the Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse, ending the 50-year reign of the wheat stalks. By 1958, the Lincoln wheat cent was still a highly popular coin, but there were increased production due to a booming post-war economy and a growing demand for circulating currency. The 1958 penny holds a bit of sentimental value for collectors because it was the last year of the wheat penny series, making it the final tribute to this design that many collectors cherish. The design of the 1958 penny is the same as the one used for many years. On the obverse, we see Abraham Lincoln's iconic portrait with the inscription, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1958. On the reverse, the coin features the two wheat stalks with the words "E pluribus unum" and 1 cent, flanking the phrase "United States of America." The lack of a mint mark signifies that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the most prolific mint during this period, responsible for producing the majority of U.S. coinage. Unlike the 1944 penny, which featured dramatic date alterations and color scratches, the 1958 penny in dirty condition holds its own intrigue. The dirt and wear on this coin, while not creating any drastic changes to the design, give it a well-traveled appearance, often indicating that the coin has been in circulation for a long time. The dirty condition can be a turnoff for some collectors, as it may appear less appealing compared to coins with a fresh, clean look. However, dirty pennies often hold significant historical value for collectors who are more interested in the coin's story, longevity, and time spent in circulation. For those interested in lower-grade specimens, this coin presents a unique opportunity to acquire a piece of American history at a more affordable price. The 1958 Lincoln wheat penny has a high mintage, with over 1 billion coins struck that year. Despite this massive production number, the damaged or dirty condition examples often sell at lower prices than their pristine counterparts. However, these coins still hold their place in the auction market because of their historical significance as the final year of the wheat penny series. As with the 1944 penny, market values for the 1958 penny vary widely depending on its condition. A dirty or damaged coin of this type might be valued in the range of $100,200, with prices fluctuating based on the market's interest in lower-grade specimens. In conclusion, while the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny may not be as rare as some other coins, Its unique condition adds a special layer of intrigue and collector value. Despite being dirty and worn, this penny is highly prized by those who appreciate the final year of the Wheat Penny series and the historical journey each coin has taken. First up, the 1928 Abraham Lincoln. Wheat 1 cent is part of the classic series of Lincoln Wheat Pennies, which were minted from 1909 until 1958. The 1928 penny, which carries the signature of President Abraham Lincoln, marked the 19th year of production of the iconic wheat design. At the time, the United States was still experiencing the effects of the Roaring Twenties, a period of economic prosperity that preceded the Great Depression. During this time, coinage was still made primarily from copper, and the Lincoln penny was issued as part of everyday currency. The coin features the image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, symbolizing America's agricultural heritage. The 1928 penny, specifically without a mint mark, was minted in Philadelphia, which was the main minting location during that period. With a mintage of over 84 million, it wasn't considered rare by minting standards. However, the value of the coin is influenced by its condition, and certain variations can make it a highly prized collector's item. The obverse of the 1928 penny features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The reverse displays two stalks of wheat, an emblem of the agricultural richness of the United States. These features make the coin highly recognizable and a symbol of American history. However, in this particular example, we're looking at a color-changed lamination damage condition. Lamination errors occur when the copper plating on the coin fails to adhere properly to the inner metal core, leading to bubbling or peeling. This specific coin shows noticeable signs of these errors, with parts of the coin's surface having a different color due to this issue. Such defects are rare and can contribute significantly to the value, especially if the coin has not been excessively damaged or worn down. Despite the relatively high mintage, the 1928 Lincoln penny in a color-changed lamination damage condition has attracted attention for its uniqueness. The value of this coin in the current auction market can vary widely based on its condition and the severity of the lamination error. In general, a 1928 Lincoln penny in a damaged condition with lamination issues might fetch anywhere between $50,500 at auction, depending on the degree of the damage and other factors such as the coin's overall wear, and appeal to collectors who focus on errors and unique characteristics. For collectors who specialize in error coins, the more dramatic the lamination defect, the higher the potential value. The collector interest for this coin can also be attributed to the rarity of these lamination defects. While they may not have the same appeal as coins in pristine condition, error coins are highly sought after due to their rarity and the fact that they represent a flaw in the minting process, which adds to their mystique and value. As mentioned earlier, the 1928 penny had a mintage of over 84 million coins, making it fairly common. However, when we move into the realm of error coins, the number of these coins with lamination damage becomes a lot smaller, leading to increased collector interest. Errors like color changes due to improper plating are not commonly found, so the value of these coins in the error category increases substantially. Next up, the 1958 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny, featuring the large date without a mint mark, stands as one of the most fascinating and sought-after coins from the Lincoln series. Let's break down why this particular coin holds such immense value in today's auction market. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was first minted in 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This coin was produced for nearly 50 years before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. The 1958 Wheat Penny is one of the last coins to feature the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse, which gives it a historical significance as it was the last year of production for the Wheat Cent series. The 1958 coin was struck during a period of economic prosperity in the United States, with the country recovering from the post-Wubby years. The economy was booming, and inflation was relatively low. This economic context helps us understand the high demand for consumer goods, and thus, the high mintage of coins like the 1958 penny. Now, let's talk about the market value. In circulated fine condition, the 1958 wheat penny without a mint mark can still command impressive prices in the auction world. While many circulated wheat pennies are worth only a few cents or dollars, a fine-condition 1958 Lincoln penny without a mint mark can fetch anywhere between $20,500 in typical auctions. However, in the right market conditions, it can reach as high as $30,000 depending on demand and the specific details of the coin's condition. If the coin is in a higher grade, such as extra fine or uncirculated, the value rises dramatically. A high-quality 1958 penny without a mint mark in red color, meaning it hasn't lost its luster or turned brown over time, could fetch upwards of $100 in some cases. This makes it a highly desirable coin for collectors looking to complete their Lincoln series or to add a special piece of U.S. coinage history to their collection. The total mintage of the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a key factor in its value. Over 1 billion coins were produced in that year, making it one of the highest mintage years for the wheat penny series. However, the mintage alone doesn't always correlate to value. This is where the condition comes into play. Coins from high mintage years like 1958 are common, but their value increases when they are well preserved, particularly in fine condition. The design of the 1958 wheat penny is familiar to many coin collectors. On the obverse, you'll find a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This iconic image of the 16th President of the United States has been featured on the penny since its debut in 1909. On the reverse, you'll notice the famous wheat stalks, symbolizing the country's agricultural roots, with the words "E pluribus unum" and 1 cent prominently displayed. The large date on the 1958 penny is a feature that collectors pay special attention to. It's worth noting that the large date variety was part of a process in which the minting equipment used to strike the coin was adjusted, resulting in a larger appearance of the numerals. This variety is often considered a bit more valuable than the small date, although both types of the 1958 penny are sought after by collectors. The 1958 wheat penny is considered to be free of any major errors or misprints, making it a popular choice among collectors who appreciate coins in their original, undisturbed state. However, it's essential to mention that there may be some rare die errors that can occur with large-scale mintings. These errors could be things like double strikes, repunched mint marks, or off-center strikes, which would significantly increase the coin's value if found. As for collector interest, the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny, especially in fine or uncirculated condition, is in high demand among collectors who are completing their wheat penny series. The fact that it's one of the last pennies to feature the wheat design before the switch to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959 only adds to its allure. Additionally, it holds value for those interested in historical coins from the post-World War II era. In summary, the 1958 large-date Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a coin that combines historical significance, design appeal, and a moderate to high market value, depending on its condition. It's an excellent piece for any collector who wants to own a meaningful part of U.S. coin history while potentially seeing their investment grow in value. Next up, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny, part of a series minted between 1909 and 1958, is one of the most iconic coins in U.S. numismatic history. These pennies are associated with President Abraham Lincoln, commemorating his legacy as one of America's most revered leaders. The coin's obverse features Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, which remains one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. In 1944, the U.S. was still deep in World War II, and the economic conditions had a profound impact on coinage production. During the war, copper became a critical material for the military, so the U.S. Mint shifted to using steel for pennies in 1943. However, by 1944, copper was once again available for coin production, and the Mint returned to producing copper pennies, marking a significant transition in American coinage history. The mintage of the 1944 Lincoln penny is substantial, with over 1.1 billion coins produced across all mint locations. However, it's the coins minted without a mint mark that are of particular interest to collectors. These coins were produced in Philadelphia, and they are distinguished by their lack of the D. Denver or S. San Francisco mint marks, which appear on other 1944 pennies. The most valuable 1944 Lincoln wheat pennies are often those with unique qualities, such as being in red or red-brown condition, reflecting their vibrant near-mint appearance. Coins in a red rust condition are rarer and more sought after due to the distinctive rust and corrosion marks that have altered the coin's appearance, adding to its individuality and intrigue. These characteristics are primarily due to environmental exposure or poor storage conditions, which create a patina that can actually increase a coin's appeal among collectors who appreciate the unique aging process. Coin collectors often seek out error coins for their rarity and potential market value. In the case of the 1944 Lincoln penny, several errors are of particular interest, including double strikes, off-center strikes, and die cracks. While these errors are relatively rare, they can significantly increase the value of the coin, especially when they are in good or excellent condition. As a result of its historical context, distinctive features, and potential for error, the 1944 Lincoln penny is highly coveted by coin enthusiasts. When in red rust condition, the coin's unique appearance can make it a standout piece in any collection, driving up its market value. The value of a 1944 Lincoln wheat penny can vary depending on its condition, rarity, and any unique characteristics. In red rust condition, a coin with minimal wear and a visible patina could fetch anywhere from $63,000 at auction, with high-end examples being valued much higher. Coins with noticeable error features can see an even higher premium, especially in the right market conditions. For collectors of historical U.S. currency, the 1944 Lincoln penny stands as an iconic piece that encapsulates a time of immense change in American history, from the end of the war to the shift back to traditional coinage. Next up, the 1952 Lincoln wheat cent with a D mint mark, we encounter another fascinating coin with its own story. Struck during the presidency of Harry S. Truman, the 1950s were a time of post-war recovery, social change, and the beginning of the Cold War. The Lincoln wheat cent was one of the most iconic symbols of American currency, and by this time, its design had been in circulation for over 40 years. While the 1952 coin is not particularly rare in terms of mintage, it holds its place as an important piece of American coinage. The reverse design remained consistent with that of earlier coins, showing the two stalks of wheat. However, the economic conditions and industrial advancements of the early 1950s would influence how these coins were handled and circulated. The 1952 Lincoln wheat cent is part of a broader movement in the United States to transition away from the Great Depression era and into the Cold War period. Coins like the 1952 cent were vital to everyday life as they moved from the hands of soldiers returning home to the bustling American cities of the post-war boom. The mintage of the 1952 Lincoln wheat cent was approximately 169 million coins, with 48 million minted in Denver, as denoted by the D mint mark. Given this mintage, it is easy to see why most of these coins are not considered rare. However, as with the 1928 cent, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its market value. Coins in full scratches or damaged condition might seem unappealing at first glance, but collectors often appreciate them for their historical character. These damaged coins are priced much lower than pristine examples, but they can still fetch upwards of $5 to $15, depending on their specific condition and rarity within the market. However, the interest lies in the fact that the coin is part of a larger set of valuable coins, and for the right collector, even a coin in bad shape can hold intrinsic value. In terms of higher-grade examples, a 1952 Lincoln wheat cent with a D mint mark in near-perfect condition can reach values of $10 to $50. Coins that are in exceptionally good shape or have a rare variety of errors can command even more. On the higher end, auction houses may list them at prices over $78,000 for top-tier pieces. Like the 1928 coin, the 1952 Lincoln wheat cent features the iconic wheat design on its reverse side. The obverse displays the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse shows 2 ears of wheat surrounding the words 1 cent. On this particular coin, the D mint mark is a crucial detail, indicating that it was struck at the Denver Mint. While the 1952 Lincoln wheat cent is not known for many large-scale errors, some minor die defects have been observed, including doubling of the mint mark and faint die cracks. Coins exhibiting these issues can fetch higher prices, with some particularly intriguing errors reaching beyond $100,000 at auction, especially for collectors seeking out mule coins or interesting variations. A common error on coins from this time period includes weak strikes, where some parts of the coin's design are not fully visible. Though not considered a major error, this can add value to coins that show these traits. As with many other Lincoln wheat cents, collectors continue to show a healthy interest in the 1952 issue. The damage or scratched condition of some examples does not diminish their appeal among certain collectors who find value in owning a piece of history, even if it is imperfect. The historical context of the coin, tied to the post-war period and early Cold War tensions, gives it an added layer of interest. For collectors focusing on the mid-20th century or on coins that survived difficult circumstances, the 1952 Lincoln wheat cent is a desirable coin to own. Next up, we have another fascinating coin from the Lincoln wheat cent series, the 1953 large date with a D mint mark in dirty condition. Although this coin may seem less pristine, it holds notable value in the market due to its specific characteristics. Let's break this coin down in detail. The 1953 Lincoln wheat penny was minted during a period when the U.S. economy was growing steadily after World War II. In the early 1950s, the United States was experiencing prosperity with a growing middle class and increasing industrial output. The coin's production reflects the country's shifting financial landscape as the U.S. moved away from wartime inflation and toward a post-war boom. In terms of the Lincoln penny, the 1953 issue is historically significant for being one of the last major years of the wheat design before the transition to the 1958 issue Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. At the time, Abraham Lincoln was an iconic figure in American history, and the use of his likeness on the coin was a tribute to his contributions to the nation. The 1953 Lincoln wheat penny features the classic design, with Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse. What sets this coin apart from others is the large date variety, which, as mentioned earlier, was a result of adjustments made to the minting equipment. The large date variety is generally more sought after by collectors, although the small date can also be of interest. On the reverse, the coin features the familiar wheat stalks, along with E pluribus unum and 1 cent inscriptions. The coin's D mint mark, located just below the date, indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint, which is known for producing large quantities of coins for circulation. The presence of the D mint mark, combined with the large date, makes this coin a standout in the wheat penny series. Next up, we have the 1918 Lincoln wheat penny, another coin that holds significant value despite its condition. The 1918 penny was struck during World War I, and its historical context adds extra weight to its allure. By 1918, the United States was deeply involved in World War I, and the economic landscape was much different than in 1936. The country had transitioned from the Great Depression of the 1930s to a time when global conflict and military needs were impacting coin production. While the U.S. economy had gained momentum, coins like the 1918 Lincoln wheat penny were still in high circulation and used widely by people from all walks of life. The U.S. Mint continued to churn out these pennies during wartime, ensuring there was enough currency to facilitate the financial needs of civilians and military personnel. The design of the coin, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the wheat stalks on the reverse, had already become iconic, solidifying the Lincoln wheat penny as a cornerstone of American numismatics. The 1918 Lincoln wheat penny has the same design as the 1936 version, with a prominent portrait of Abraham Lincoln. What stands out with the 1918 penny is the overall age and condition of the coin, especially in a circulated damaged state. The coin features Lincoln's profile on the obverse, with the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and 1936 underneath. The reverse displays the 2 stalks of wheat, emblematic of the United States agricultural backbone, with 1 cent beneath it. The coin's composition was 95% copper, which is one of the reasons these pennies were so widely used and circulated. In 1918, the mintage of Lincoln wheat pennies reached around 309 million coins. While this is lower than the 1936 production, the sheer number of these coins produced means they were abundant in circulation. However, due to the heavy use of these pennies during wartime, those that remain in good condition are scarce and often fetch higher prices at auction. The 1918 penny is one of the sought-after years in the Lincoln Wheat Penny series. Its high mintage combined with its historical significance makes it a desirable coin for collectors, especially when you can find an example that has been well preserved or carries unique characteristics, such as wear patterns or die variations. In circulated damage condition, the 1918 Lincoln Wheat Penny is generally worth between $13,000. However, when you find one with unique characteristics, such as a die error or historical significance, the value can spike significantly. A coin with a rare mint error or unique condition could go for as much as $30,000 or more, depending on the market and buyer interest. Just like with the 1936 penny, the 1918 Lincoln Wheat Penny is frequently examined by collectors for potential minting errors. Some of the most common errors include double dies, overpolished dies, and the occasional off-center strike. Coins with these errors can fetch a much higher price than those in standard condition. Additionally, because the 1918 penny was produced during the First World War, it carries a unique historical weight. This historical context is especially meaningful for collectors who appreciate coins with a story behind them. The mere fact that this coin was in circulation during such a turbulent time in world history adds to its intrinsic value. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave your comments below. And as always, keep hunting for those rare treasures.